Okay, the two major new proposals, which are being proposed, but they might not get voted in. So we could end up with the same exact proposal, what we have right now. One of them would essentially be the NCAA rule, what they do with mid-semester eligibility. Right now, the way it works in California Community College Athletic Association, if you're in a sport that goes across 2 semesters, which for a semester school like ours only means men's and women's basketball. However, if you're on a quarter school, it could mean a lot of your spring sports. But the way it works right now is that you can't become ineligible at mid-season because your eligibility is based on if you were eligible at the beginning of the term that sport starts, and then you're eligible for the entire sport. So here's what the NCAA does. The NCAA says that you have to pass at least 6 credits in that sport that goes over 2 semesters. And if you pass 6 credits, then you're eligible for the second semester that sport goes across. Which means if you don't pass 6 credits, you're ineligible mid-season, right about January 1st. And so in basketball, you could be eligible for the first half of the season, but not the second half of the season. So the NCAA rule is 6 credits. Still, it's that you have to pass 24 credits between semesters, and you have to have a 2.0, which is our current rule. 24 credits you have to pass between years, and we call it between sports seasons, but it really means between years, and that you have to have at least a 2.0 eligibility. So that would be the same exact rule, the NCAA rule. The only difference is that in basketball you'd have to pass 6 credits in order to be eligible the second half of the season. That's one proposal. Second proposal is that you would have to pass more than 24 credits. You would have to pass 27 credits with a 2.0. And that if you didn't pass the credits the first semester in a 2-semester sport, like basketball, you would immediately become ineligible around January 1st. And you wouldn't be eligible at all for the second half of that semester. So those are the 2 new proposals.
We are aware of the bylaws, which is going to basically check eligibility at the semester. The negative part for basketball is that basketball players are the one that's going to be affected the most because our sport falls over 2 semesters, both the fall and the spring. So we have to continually do what we've always been doing as monitor our athletes, make sure that they are attending study hall and classes, and that they are enrolled in the proper amount of units, which we've been doing the whole time.
I don't think it'll affect that many. Most of them get that done. I'm not totally adverse to that. What I don't like is when student athletes are held to a higher standard than regular students. And so that's like they're still students. And so for them, like, they have to have, for Division I, a percentage of their major complete. It doesn't really allow them to change their mind. And most students change their major twice. It's rules like that sometimes just go, man, they're still young people. They still could change their mind on their major. So why are you holding them to a different standard than regular students? I don't think the 24 to 27 will be that big a deal. Well, they have a choice. They could redshirt, so they can take another year to get their units up. And I've had that happen before. And sometimes people make a big change and really progress, and people that you may not think from here, would get a degree and a master's degree do. And then sometimes other people just kind of realize, maybe school isn't for them, and sometimes you hope their love for basketball will keep them going to the point where they see the light at the end of the tunnel and want that degree. Or they'll figure out their major and get in their major classes and love all the classes they're taking instead of, here you got to take a lot of general ed, so you have to take some things that maybe you don't love. It doesn't come into play too much. The 24 or 27 is only one more class, and we offer summer school here, and we try to get them out of here. So to get them, you think about needing 60 transferable units, that's 15 a semester, so you're looking at 30. The 24 is the minimum, but that doesn't really help you matriculate and get out in 2 years. And so that's where I don't think it's really, it may hurt one kid here or there, but we have them in enough units to try to get out in 2 years. So.
Well, I just think it's, number one, the NC2A has been putting higher certifications and qualifications on student athletes, and so this is basically coming down from them that in order to transfer now to a Division I school, you got to have a 2.5 GPA and an AA degree. So, this is an extension of that, and we definitely want our athletes to be Division I eligible, and this is just another way of pushing towards that goal. Well, it definitely puts a lot of emphasis on being eligible or completing their coursework in the fall semester and getting a proper GPA. So, no longer is a player going to be able to play the first semester and fail and flunk out and get below 2.0 and then be able to play the second semester. So I think it really does emphasize student athlete. Well, you know what? I think that's something that gets lost all the time. One thing, we watch basketball or football on TV, you think, oh, how easy that. They just get to play games all day. But it really is a full job to be a committed student athlete. And you're talking, 3 to 4 hours of weight training a day, study hall, and then 2 hours plus a day practice, and then on the weekends, possibly games and then tournaments. And, I don't think we give enough credit to student athletes because it is a full-time job, and it's getting nearly impossible for student athletes to go to school, play basketball, and hold a job. That is a very difficult task.
Okay.
And if they are ineligible, then hopefully that will motivate them to take advantage of those resources and do whatever we can to counsel them and push them in the right direction.